Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Rewards for July 8th through to July 14th, covering all the latest loyalty program news, bonuses, you name it, credit card offers, things like that in the Canadian loyalty industry right here on the Rewards Canada YouTube channel. Before I get into this week's coverage, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified anytime our videos get posted onto the Rewards Canada YouTube channel. So we're going to start off with probably what was some of the, at least the news that generated the most news last week, or most traffic, and that was Air Miles and them adding the card-linked offers with Dollarama. So they put out a press release, and it seemed to get quite a bit of news across the media outlets, saying that they've partnered with this nationwide retailer, Dollarama. A lot of us know Dollarama very well. Their stores seem to be everywhere. But I think the key thing here is that it's a card-linked offer. So overall it's good news for Air Miles. Air Miles needs this good news to be coming out with something like this after the whole bankruptcy. We had the good news that BMO was approved, and they did finish their acquisition of the Air Miles program, so BMO owns it now. And so this is the first kind of program news after that. And so they're adding card-linked offers for Dollarama. If you're not familiar with card-linked offers, what this is any Canadian MasterCard, any Canadian issued MasterCard can be linked with this card-linked offers through Air Miles. And as long as you use that card to pay for your purchase at the stores that are participating in that time, and you meet the minimum spend or the whatever requirements they have to earn the bonus miles, you will earn them. So in this case with Dollarama, when it launches on August 7th, if you have your card linked, we'll have the link below to the blog post and directly to Air Miles card linked in the description here. So once you link your cards and you go make that purchase, just use that MasterCard that you've linked, and you can link multiple MasterCards. I have multiple. I have my Diners Club linked. I have my WestJet RBC World Elite MasterCard linked to them, so you can have multiple cards. You can earn the bonus multiple times, I believe. I'd have to double check that, but anyways, at least you can have multiple choices for what cards to use. So as long as you use that card and you spend that required amount at Dollarama, in this case it's $30, get 10 bonus Air Miles, you'll get 10 bonus Air Miles. Now there is no need to show your actual Air Miles card, scan your Air Miles card, because Dollarama is not becoming a full-fledged Air Miles partner like we were familiar with Shell or with like Sobeys and that prior to Sobeys moving to Scene. So this is that specific to that card linked offer. So yeah, it's good news, but it's not great news. It's not worth the hype that Air Miles was trying to put out last week, and the amount of coverage it got, I was kind of surprised. But I think that's because Air Miles is trying to get it in the news. They need to be in the news. So good on them to do this. But like we put in our blog post, it's limited to having a MasterCard. If you don't have a MasterCard, you can't earn this bonus if you shop at Dollarama. Or you might have better offers, like myself. The next time I shop at Dollarama, if it's gonna hit the spend required, I'm gonna use my Amex, my Platinum, so I get the Amex offers statement credit. So I'll use that first, and then if I continue shopping at Dollarama, then I'll probably use my MasterCard card to earn the bonus Air Miles. And it's limited time also. Right now it's only running from August 7th through till November. Hopefully it does well enough that they continue renewing this card-linked offer. That tends to happen in the card-linked offers. Boston Pizza is one that continually is offered. But then we lose some. Like last fall, one of our readers just posted, Adam, he said, I think it was Adam, hopefully I got your name there correctly, that all the Save On offers are gone, and that's correct. All the overweighty food groups, so Save On and their various brands of grocery stores are no longer there because it was just a card-linked offer. They weren't an actual full-time Air Miles partner, so these can be lost at any time. So what we're hoping for is that this one does well enough that it continues, and hopefully that it maybe does well enough that Dollarama will become a full-fledged Air Miles partner, but I don't foresee that happening. Here you have a store that sells things for cheap, and bottom line means everything to them. To join Air Miles as a full-fledged partner is very expensive. It was. I don't know what it is nowadays, what Air Miles is trying to do to pitch to bring full-fledged partners on, but no matter what, I think it would be too expensive for Dollarama. And I think this is showing too, all these companies coming to the card-linked offers, is that they don't want to sign up for the full-fledged Air Miles deal. So while it's good for consumers, perhaps Air Miles kind of shot themselves in the foot with these card-linked offers as well. yeah, great for the consumers, but is Air Miles, are all partners potentially going to go this route? Because then they don't have to sign up to become a full-fledged partner. And I mean, it does encourage the MasterCard use, which Air Miles has MasterCards. So, I mean, hopefully people will use the Air Miles cards. I mean, there's a extra bonus here with using your BMO Air Miles cards of 5 times miles when you do shop at Dollarama. So if they do that, that works. It's key for Air Miles collectors, especially those that have the BMO Air Miles MasterCards. But yeah, I don't think it's worth the hype because they didn't become a full-fledged partner. And it kind of worries me that all these companies are going this card-linked offers. What can Air Miles do to bring in full-fledged partners? I don't know if we'll just have to wait to see. We'll see what BMO does with them. We'll see what Air Miles can do. Fingers crossed they continue. I mean, like I said, this is good news. I mean, no matter what, this is good news to have something like this. It's just limited to the number of Air Miles collectors that can use it. So that is the card-linked offer. The next bit of news that did generate quite a bit of news for us, or I guess traffic, it's news, it's not generating news for us, but generating traffic on the site, was British Airways and their companion voucher, like on the RBC British Airways Visa Infinite card. I just put it up there. They finally followed suit. About a year ago in the US and the UK, the companion voucher that you could earn on their co-brand cards, they adjusted it so that you can use it as a solo traveler, get 50% off the number of Avios required for an award flight. And now we finally have it here at RBC. We reached out to RBC and British Airways last year. It was British Airways who actually got back to us and said that no, in Canada they were not offering this. This was June of last year, of 2022. But now that has changed. As of July 4th, the companion vouchers can be used by a solo traveler. So this is good news for those people who have this card, who've been considering it, but I don't know if I should get it because I can spend $30,000. That's key for this voucher. So you can spend $30,000 a year on the card to get it, to receive the voucher. And I received, actually, I think in the past year, not a ton, but maybe half a dozen emails from our readers asking, will this feature ever come to the card, or will they ever offer it? Because some people were considering getting the card. So now it's there, and it's vouchers after July 4th. So if your voucher was issued before July 4th, you can only use it as a companion voucher, which is a good deal too, because it's 100% off in terms of the Avios for the second person. So it's a great voucher in terms of value. You just pay the taxes and fees. It can save you a lot of Avios. But it's great too for these single travelers now, 50% off. So, if you have 100,000 Avios business class flight, now you only redeem 50,000 and add the taxes and fees on top. I mean, you can go as low as redeeming 13,000 miles round trip if you want to do the Toronto to Dublin, because the vouchers are now redeemable also on Aer Lingus. So you can redeem that famous 26,000 Avios round trip economy class flight from Toronto to Dublin and only redeem 13,000 Avios for a single traveler. So is it a great use of that voucher? Perhaps not, but if that's all you get, if that's something you can use it for, then go ahead. I mean, if that's all you have planned, for travel and Avios redemption. So this was a big thing, that we finally get to see this on the Canadian co-brand British Airways card, that this voucher is available to be used by single travelers. And the vouchers have a good lifespan too. They're 2 years. You get to use it. You get to keep them for 2 years after you collect them. So, and you can redeem 2 at a time. So if you have like a family of 4 and you've earned 2 of these vouchers, you can redeem for, to get miles or Avios off for 2 of those 4 flights. So something to keep in mind as well. Maybe perhaps not as good as the WestJet voucher in terms of how you get it, because the WestJet voucher, you just have to pay your annual fee on your card and you get it. This has that 30,000 annual spend, so it's a decent amount of spending you have to put on this card. But if you're somebody who flies British Airways semi-regularly, this is a card you want to get because you get 10% off British Airways flights, and that's 10% off cash, including the taxes and fees, so it's off the full price. It's a great deal if you're buying business class flights on British Airways. And if you're buying several of those a year, you might be hitting that 30,000 pretty easily. So just things to take into consideration, but just know that that voucher now can be used for single travelers. So great news there for that. Now let's go on to kind of a partner of British Airways, but we're not going to really talk about British Airways for them, and that is our award availability alert. This also generated a lot of traffic last week, which was great news, and this was Vancouver to Fiji on Fiji Airways on their new Airbus A350s. They've upped, or I guess, made it sooner that you can fly on the A350, because right now it's an A330 on that route. The A350 will be starting to fly Vancouver to Nadi in August instead of October. And there's some pretty good availability with Alaska Airlines mileage plan. So yes, they're a British Airways partner, but your best deal here is with Alaska Airlines mileage plan. 40,000 miles each way for economy class, 55,000 business. That's why it's such a good deal, because 55,000 business is low. So round trip, you're looking at 110,000 miles. And here's actually an example of one of the awards. You can see it here. I'll put it up here if I can. So this was one that actually I just found earlier today before recording this, but it was the same dates that I put in the award availability alert, but 110,000 Alaska airline miles plus about $119 US in fees and taxes. But this is a really decent redemption. The cash price for this flight, this exact same flight, was close to 7,000 Canadian. So here we're getting over 6 cents per mile of value. Just amazing deal. I saw one of our Twitter followers said that they've changed their flight. They were scheduled on an A330 through San Francisco to Fiji over to Auckland, and now they've changed to this flight, the A350. So good on them, because it is a better business class. Even the economy class is better on the A350. Wider seats, bigger screens, just something to know about. And this shows that kind of hidden value of the Alaska Airlines mileage plan program, which a lot of people may not be aware of. If you're not a regular follower of Rewards Canada or other Points and Miles blogs, Alaska Airlines has a ton of value with their partner airlines, and this is one of those. It was great once Fiji Airways announced this Vancouver route, and the availability, for business class, there's quite a few days we found 2 seats, tons of days with 1 seat. Economy class, super easy to find 4 or 5 seats on most of their flights. And even at 80,000 miles, to get for 30,000 miles more, you can get a business class flight. But if you don't have that much, or you're good to fly economy, even the 80,000 miles worked out to about 1 3/4 cents per mile value. So a decent redemption for economy class. I usually try to strive for 2, but when you value miles at 1.5 cents for economy class, to get 1 3/4, good deal with that award availability alert. So I'll put a link to that in the description below, along with all the other blog posts and things we've covered here. Just a couple more items to cover in today's episode. The next one will be American Express offers. They put out quite a few last week, but the big 2 that everybody seemed to be excited about were the booking hotels or car rentals through Amex Travel. And there was 2 versions out there. This one is for the Platinum card, or the higher end cards like Reserves. If you spend $800, you get a $200 credit. And has to be through Amex Travel. So it's hotels and car rentals only. Flights are not included. For a Cobalt card and cards like that, they were offering, $500, spend $500, get $125 statement credit. So if you've been planning to book some hotels or car rentals, look through Amex Travel, see if the value is there to do it. Register for these offers, and then go ahead and book them. So that you can get those statement credits. These always do post quite quickly with American Express. They're a good way to save some money if those bookings make sense, because sometimes you'll find that you can book these hotels cheaper through other other OTAs or directly with the hotel chain. So do some price shopping, but that statement credit alone might make it cheaper just to book through Amex Travel anyways. And plus you'll earn the extra bonus point or extra membership rewards point for booking through Amex Travel. And the last thing we're going to cover today, I think we've covered this before, but is the latest news with Avion Select. So Avion Select is Avion rewards for non-RBC credit card or product holders. We learned last week they sent out an email with terms and conditions that points earning will be launching in September. I think September 7th, at least that's when the terms and conditions kick in, is September 7th. And the one key detail we learned in those terms and conditions is that currently, now I'll discuss this a little bit more here, those points cannot be converted to other Avion levels. So Avion Premium or Avion Elite, so if you have an Ion Plus, or the Avion cards, like the Visa Infinite or Visa Infinite Privilege, or even the Platinum one, right now the terms and conditions state that you cannot convert those points. So if they upsell you and you get one of the RBC products, you technically cannot convert those points over. However, RBC did reach out to me saying this may not be the case. And I'm saying may not. They're saying it's not, but the terms and conditions, everything point to it being that way. So I'm waiting for confirmation back from RBC. because they're saying that they may be converted. So if that is that's good news. That's really good news that you can convert those points, and that'll totally change my tone of that post, because that post I said the reason why I thought they wouldn't allow to allow you to convert those points is that they were going to make the values of points you could earn quite a bit higher, and to make this kind of online shopping portal that Avion Select is more competitive with, like the Rakutens and Great Canadian Rebates, with Aeroplan and all those type of things, to keep it competitive with that. So I thought maybe they're going to boost the earn rates, but that's why you wouldn't be able to convert, because then those earn rates would be way more than what you would earn with the Avion cards or Ion cards, and that would make people could do a run on the program by converting it to Avion rewards. Like, can you imagine earning 10 Avion rewards points per dollar and then being able to use it with their reward chart, or converting those to British Airways when there's a 30% bonus? I mean, that would be huge, and honestly, it would be very unprofitable for RBC. So I think that's why those terms and conditions are there. But stay tuned. As soon as RBC gets back to us and clarifies everything, we may see some changes in the terms and conditions. And if that is the go, then I'm assuming then the earn rates will not be as high as I consider. But we'll just have to wait and see for that. And that is everything. That was all the big news for this past week. I want to thank you for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And as always, I will talk to you guys next week with the next one of This Week in Rewards. Have a great week, and I will talk to you guys soon.